Hi, this is Hot Chocolate with Paul for Wednesday, August 14th, and I have just entered Letchworth State Park from the village of Mount Morris. The reason I'm in Letchworth Park today is because I am officiating a wedding at the Glen Iris Inn. And it's rainy because the remnants of Hurricane Debbie are just finishing up passing through this area, and even though it's been raining out, the wedding must still go on. We came up with some alternate options if it's still raining when the weather starts, so we'll see how that works out. So while you're enjoying the view as I drive through the park, I'd like to talk about the fact that I am celebrating my 10th anniversary as a wedding officiant. It was in August of 2014 that I got my credentials to officiate weddings. The place is called the Universal Life Church Monastery. It's a church that is set up to make it legal for people to officiate weddings. Today's wedding is wedding number 319 for me. I average somewhere around 40 weddings a year, and for 2024 I decided to cut back on that a little bit. As it is, I've got about 24 weddings altogether for the year 2024. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure how many I've done so far this year, but it was 24 scheduled for the whole year. So always a possibility to add another one or two. People want to know where some of the weddings are that I've done. Well, I've done other weddings here in Letchworth Park. Actually, I'm just passing a spot right now where I did a wedding last year. It's the High Banks area. It would be on the left side. Parking lot is to the left there. I've done a few at Glen Iris Inn before. Out on the back patio overlooking the waterfalls. I think for me personally, the most thrilling place I've ever done a wedding is I've done two at the Strassenberg Planetarium in Rochester. I love the idea of having a 7-minute star show to go with the wedding ceremony. And they can do anything they want with the sky as far as the ceremony goes. They've had some pretty exciting backgrounds for pictures. I've done one wedding at the Eastman House in Rochester. Sadly, I did not get any pictures of that one. If you do go to my website, upstateweddingbuilds.com, you will see some of the pictures. You will see some pictures of some of the weddings that I've done through the years. I'm not posting them here on YouTube, so you have to go to my webpage. The way I got started doing weddings, people have asked me that. Well, two of my daughters have gotten married outside of a church, and in both cases I sat there watching the officiant, thinking, oh, with my radio and television background, that looks like something I could do. I thought about it from time to time, never really took it seriously. Until one day, a family member was about to get married in Poughkeepsie, New York. And a little situation happened there where the officiant they were supposed to have was not going to work out And I had mentioned to them that, that's something I thought about doing from time to time. And she mentioned to me what officiants get paid there. And then another family member was able to officiate weddings in Florida, and she did a beach wedding, and that further inspired me. So I decided to go for it. As I said, I signed up with the Universal Life Church Monastery. People have asked me if I've taken any kind of a course or a class or anything like that. The answer is no. What I did was I started doing a lot of research. Being that I was familiar with the Catholic Mass, I came up with a format that is somewhat similar to a Catholic Mass, although not nearly as long as a Catholic wedding. And then I started researching readings that I liked, both religious and non-religious. I found some material that was an inspiration for putting together sermons, figuring people would like them. Along the way, I wrote a couple sermons of my own, which I offer as options. I learned from couples as well as couples learning from me. At this point in my career as a wedding officiant, I can honestly say I've had a lot of experience. I've come across so many different situations that people want to know, well, what do you do if this happens, or how can I handle this, or how can I handle that? And quite frankly, there's not too many situations that I can imagine that I haven't personally witnessed or been involved with somehow. I have had somebody in the wedding party pass out during the ceremony, so I've experienced that. I've done weddings with as few as just a couple and one witness, and weddings where there's well over 200 people. Just enjoying the view here at Letchworth Park. So what else can I say about weddings? How do people find me? That's a question people ask. Well, most people these days are finding me on the internet. They do a search and either my website comes up or they find me on weddingwire.com. I've done a lot of advertising on weddingwire.com. I still have a listing there, and I would say that probably about half the weddings I've done this year so far have come from weddingwire.com, and the rest of them, most of the rest of them have come through finding my website online. There's been some referrals, personal referrals from people who have been to my weddings in the past. People ask me if I do bridal shows. I have done bridal shows when I first started out, but I found out that for my advertising dollars, they're not quite as cost effective for me, because I can get more bang for my buck by paying for advertising on the internet than I can for a bridal show. Simple reason that a lot of people who attend bridal shows already have a minister at their church who's going to officiate their wedding, so There's no reason for me to be talking with them. Sometimes I get referrals from some of the venues where I've officiated weddings. I've been told my name is on some of the lists at those venues as a recommended wedding officiant, and that's something I greatly appreciate. I'm in contact with other wedding officiants in the Rochester area, and sometimes we back each other up. If a situation comes up that we're not able to officiate a wedding as planned, sometimes we can contact one of the others and help each other out. Even though people do choose between us different officiants, I never feel like I'm competing with them. I don't know if they feel the same way, but I never feel like I'm competing with them because we offer different things, and you really have to choose what works best for you as a couple. I have run into a situation where even though I'm officiating a wedding outside of a church, some people are very traditional and insist that for religious reasons they still want a male to officiate their wedding. Most of the other wedding officiants I know are female, and there's been a couple situations where they prefer to have me. I'm not saying that's a better thing for me or not. It's just one of those things that's a personal choice for the couple involved. And I can think of situations where I would refer a couple to one of the other wedding officiants if I think they would be a better fit. I take pride in tailoring my weddings to what the couple wants, what their wishes are. I always say it's not about me at all. It's about the couple on their wedding day. You know, very often right after a ceremony is complete and the couple is celebrating their marriage with their guests, a lot of times I just fade away. It's not that I disappear, but people are there to see the couple. They're not there to see me. So I will just stay out of the way. If people have a reason to want to talk to me, I will talk with them. Sometimes I stay for the reception, sometimes I don't. I'll be perfectly honest and say a lot of times I'm sitting by myself at a reception because I don't know anybody there. Other times Stacy comes with me. And then sometimes we like to get some of the dancing going. Forget how far into this Glen Iris Inn is. Once again, that's where I'm headed, Glen Iris Inn. It's a nice place. I've never actually eaten there. Well, I take that back. I was there for a wedding one time where I stayed for the reception and I ate there. But as far as the restaurant that's on the premises, I have not eaten there. Looks like a lovely place. Where we have the wedding there is out on the back patio, and we're hoping the weather is going to communicate. We're hoping the weather is going to work out for today. I've forgotten how far in this is, Glen Iris Inn. I just keep following the trail till I get there. So just thinking of some of the other places where I've officiated weddings. I'll go as far east as Geneva in my regular area. Belhurst Castle is out that way. I've done a bunch of weddings there. I love that place. Actually, people ask me what my local area is. I go as far east as Geneva and as far west as Medina. And then here, as far south as Letchworth Park. And then anything beyond these areas, there might be a travel fee. I did one in Pennsylvania one time. I really had to study the marriage license for Pennsylvania. It was different. I must have read through it about 3 or 4 times to make sure that I wasn't messing anything up on it. Of course, now that I'm trying to think of all the places where I've officiated weddings, my mind is blanking out. That happens. Well, once again, if you go to my website, I've got a list of every single place where I've ever officiated a wedding. As far as people's homes or other private places, I just have that listed as private. I don't put people's addresses in there. I try to keep what happens at most of my weddings private because they are private events. I could tell you some general things about them if you wanted me to. Otherwise, just enjoying this drive through Letchworth Park. Radar showed it was supposed to clear up later today. It'd be really nice if the sun came out just as the wedding was about to start. I've had that happen a few times. The sun came out just as the wedding started. I've had a few run-ins with thunderstorms approaching. I can think of a couple times where the rain was starting just as the recession was going out, or clouds were rolling in just as we were finishing up. A couple other times we waited 15 minutes to start a ceremony to see if it would clear up, and it did. So what do I do for a couple when it's time to plan a wedding? Well, we meet. We go over every single step of the wedding ceremony. I let them know what's required by New York State. I let them know what their options are for all the other steps. If they want me to use a reading, if they want me to write something, we talk about it. Then I write a draft of the ceremony, and then I send it to them, and they can say whether they like it the way it is or if they want something in it to be changed. Driving through Letchworth Park in the fall is beautiful. That's one of the best times to come here with all the fall foliage. There's the Great Bend Overlook. Getting closer. There's the cast-style entrance. Not sure what that is, but that's not my wedding. Some kind of an event going on there. Looks like it might be a concert. Archery Field Overlook. This is one place where I did a wedding, right on the side there, right on the left. There's the gift shop and visitor center right on the left there. Glen Iris Inn, straight ahead. Well, as straight as a trail can be, that is. Inspiration Point Overlook. I believe I did it. Yeah, I did a wedding there too. Yeah. Huh. Letchworth Park is loaded with places where I've officiated weddings. Lots of people getting married here. beautiful park, that's for sure. I've heard it referred to as the Grand Canyon of the East. Can't say I would disagree with that. And there we are, Glen Iverson. There's a water fountain on the left. That freezes up in the winter. It creates quite a sight. There we go. Just got to grab a parking spot. Check out the wedding situation. Walking towards the back of Glen Iverson to the area where the wedding is going to be held. I'm impressed. The rain has stopped, at least for now. There's actually a little bit of sun peeking through. So we'll get back there and take a look at the waterfalls and the site where the wedding is going to be. Here's the wedding site in the back of Glen Iverson. That circular area down there, I did a wedding down there once. I'm back in my car now as it started raining again. We managed to dodge the rain showers for the wedding, which went well. So that's all I have for Hot Chocolate with Paul for today. Have a good day.